Alright, so here we are on lesson 3, interpreting and computing division of a fraction by a fraction. So the difference between what we did yesterday and what we're going to do today is that now we are dividing two fractions. Alright, so if you look at the opening exercise here, it says draw a model to represent 12 divided by 3. So we know that 12 divided by 3 is 4. Okay, and remember, whenever we see this division sign, we're thinking in terms of groups. So please write yourself a little note here. We're thinking about groups. So if we're going to draw a model, that means we're going to need 12 boxes. Alright, and now in these 12 boxes, we are trying to find groups of 3. So we are circling groups of 3 boxes. So here's one group. Alright, so we have one group of 3. Here's another group of 3 boxes. Another group of 3. And then our last one. So if we count this up, we do see that there are 1, 2, 3, 4 groups of 3 and 12. So that's how we got the answer is 4. Down here it says, how could we reword the question? We could reword it using the word groups. So we could ask, how many groups of 3 are in 12? Alright, so this is kind of what we're doing today, but using fractions. So if we look at example 1, it says draw a model to show the division problem. So we have 8/9 here. Alright, so we're asking how many groups of 2/9 are in 8/9. So in 8/9 we're going to need to have 9 boxes to start with. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, one more, here's 9. Okay, and then we're shading in 8/9 of them. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So now we are trying to circle groups of 2/9. So we're still in ninths here, so we're circling groups of 2. So here's a group of 2. Here's a group of 2, here's 1, and here's 1. Alright, so groups of 2/9, again, we're only looking at the shaded boxes. So because this last box isn't shaded, it doesn't matter that it's not circled. So our answer here would be just 4 because there were 4 groups of 2 that we circled. Okay, so go ahead and flip over to the next page. We'll do a few more examples here. So here it says, it's asking us about 9/12 divided by 3/12. So first we need 12 boxes to start off with. Right, so there's our 12 boxes, and we're going to shade in 9 of them to represent our 9/12. So that will be all but 3 boxes. Alright, so there's our 9/12. And now we're dividing by 3/12. So 3 is how many we circle. So we're circling groups of 3. So here's one group of 3. Here's 2 groups of 3. And then here's 3 groups of 3. And now because these weren't shaded in, it's alright that they don't count. So we have 3 groups of 3. So that means our answer here would be 3. Okay, so now if we look here at example 3, we have 7/9 divided by 3/9. So I'm going back to 9 boxes here. Alright, so here's 9 boxes, and I'm going to shade in 7 of them to represent our 7/9. Alright, so there's our 7/9, and now I'm circling groups of 3 because we are dividing by 3/9. So here's one group of 3, And now we have 2 groups of 3. So now notice we have this one left over. So our answer is, our whole number would be 2, because we have 2 full groups. And then we have 1 box left over out of the 3 that we were shading in groups. So if you want to write yourself a little note here, the 1 represents how many shaded left over, and then the 3 on the bottom is what you are grouping by. Alright, so again we had 2 full sets, 1 left over, and we were grouping by 3, so our final answer here is 2 1/3. Okay, so down on the next page, we're going to skip down to the bottom and work our way up. So right now we're going to look at number 5. So number 5 is 11/9 divided by 3/9. So now we need 11 boxes, right, because this is an improper fraction. So we need 11 boxes here. And now we're going to shade in all of them because it's an improper fraction. So we're going to shade in all 11/9 of this. And now we are circling in groups of 3. So here's 1 group of 3, 2 groups of 3, 3 groups of 3. Now we have 2 left over. So our answer would be that we had 3 whole groups. We had 2 left over, and we were shading or circling in groups of 3, so our answer would be 3 2/3. Alright, we're going to look at number 4 now. So we have 13/10 divided by 2/10, so that means we need 13 boxes on the top here. Erase some of this. Oh no! All disappeared on me. Alright, so here's our 13 boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, one more. 13. Alright, and again we're going to shade in all of them just like we did before because we have that improper fraction. Okay, now we are circling in groups of 2 because we are dividing by 2/10. So here's 1 group, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 6 whole groups. We have 1 left over, and we were circling in groups of 2. So our final answer is 6 1/2. Okay, so now going up to the top here, I want you to try number 1, number 2, and number 3 on your own. Look back at your notes. Please make sure you have something written down on the paper, and then we will go over the answers in class all together tomorrow.